We have this goofy looking little thing hanging up there that's actually a dish rack that we got from IKEA. We put it up there because one, it's out of the way, and two, if we got to drip dry some dishes, it's a great place to hang it. Down this wall here, we've got some plugs, GSCIs, one little switch there, more IKEA stuff for organizing. Our countertop was actually a project board from Lowe's. It was just cut and then angled differently to accommodate the sink that we got at Signature Hardware. This was a very big splurge item. It's copper. It's obviously got dishes in it and it's kind of dirty right now, but it shines like a copper penny. It's beautiful when it's totally cleaned out. Our faucet is even multi-purpose. You see it flows that way. If I twist this, there's a high stream, and then I think I go back to that one and then back one more. Believe it or not, that's a low flow stream right there. So it's actually multi-purpose. Same thing, trying to save some water on it, but the, see, more projects to do. The counter, Brandon built completely from scratch. What's underneath there is actually a piece from IKEA that we chopped the legs off of. It pulls out, well, I can't pull it out one-handed very well, but anyway, it's got sliders. It pulls out. This whole top thing here flips open, makes it much, much bigger. I added some cool little copper detailing on the side. I added a lip there. I'm going to put a bar across here to keep all this stuff from falling out. Change the hardware. You know, just little things, little accents to make it look prettier. But the idea is that we can store all of our stuff in there, but we can also pull the whole thing out, move it over here, open up the counter space, have way more countertop if we need it. We really haven't yet, but we can. For cooking right now, we have new waves. We have 2 of them, as in fact, and we do use most of them, you know, to do them together at the same time a lot, but ideally, one point we'll have an alcohol stove, but I'm very glad we didn't have it this winter because really the alcohol burning puts more water into the air, and we've already had issues. And you can see there's another damp rid that's getting pretty darn close to full. You can also probably hear the buzz. We did break down and get an electric dehumidifier. Works pretty well. It's almost full and needs to be emptied actually, but not our idea. We would have preferred to just have done a better job of not having mold issues, but all tiny houses have them. You just, no matter how well you do it. So we were too cold to be able to deal with it here with open windows. And that's actually probably the best way to get that moisture out. So summertime won't be a problem. This cool light fixture I got off of Zulily. I actually bought 2. We only found room for 1. Same thing. It's got an LED Edison bulb inside there. Let's see. There you go. This space is also not totally done. I'm going to step up on the stairs. We're going to close this in a little bit and probably put some dividers or maybe some shelves that way. I haven't decided quite yet. But right now it's just kind of a catch-all for extra stuff. Like there's bread box, which obviously doesn't have the bread in it. A few other little random things, my teas and this stuff. You know, just kind of random stuff. And if you look really closely, there's a shout out to Tiny Tall House or Tall Tiny House. You have to forgive me, Brita, because I don't remember which way you have it listed on there. But that's Brita and Addison. They live in Alaska with their tiny house. That is their playhouse, obviously. They're awesome. Anyhow, still a work in progress in the kitchen area, but it's getting there. So right down there is our water tank, 40 gallons. Obviously, it is not covered up yet. Obviously, I have not built the cabinet front for this, but buried underneath all of that crap is a water pump. There's down in there somewhere that runs this guy here. That one is a gravity fill. Right now we're set up to the city water, so it just dumps directly into the lines and then it runs out that way towards the water heater if it needs to get warm. So lots of random stuff. Again, not done. The flooring, by the way, which I haven't really pointed out, that's also from, oh gosh, I'm blanking out. Habitat Restore. 2 different types of flooring. I actually had my dad help me mill them down, and we turned them into being the same thickness and the same width and everything, just with the tongues. Some of it's hand scraped, some of it's not. Unfortunately, our stuff is kind of scratched up, so I've got some repair work to do once we're totally done building in here. Back this direction, our custom stairs that Brand built for us, basically reverse engineering a set that we saw from Bear Creek Carpentry Company. They had done a really beautiful job. Sorry for the cat litter shot. They had done a really beautiful job with some stairs, and they were basically exactly what I'd had in mind. So Brand kind of tweaked them a little bit, and they're still obviously not even remotely done to fit our space. But there's going to be, like, this step will actually flip up rather than it sliding out there. That's going to flip down. I think I'm going to put carpet tiles to cut down on the dirt. You can see the walls are all messed up and kicked up there. Same thing, still working on it. I haven't decided. I feel like this whole thing needs to be a feature, this section here, but I can't decide what to do with it. I don't want our birch pole to blend in, so I don't want to put the birch wallpaper there, but added a grab bar. Obviously this is here to help keep you from falling down and landing on your bobo, as we call it. This is actually set to International Building Code height. Brandon actually looked it up and got it just where it's supposed to be. It also doubles as a cat litter box. Ooh, I know that's so lovely to look at. It'll have a door on it eventually, don't worry. Same thing with the pantry. Pantry is temporary storage right now. These are not the permanent solution. They're just something we needed to throw in there just so that we could function with it over the winter. But it's going to look really cool. It's going to have a door. It'll be all nice, etc., etc. In here, same thing. Light is on. Don't normally use the light. Don't usually have to. This is our bathroom. One of them. This is the dry side. It's got a little window, it's got a little light, it's got the fun wallpaper that's kind of sort of steampunk-ish. I have an obsession with The Last Unicorn. It's one of my favorite movies, so if you haven't seen it, you should. But yeah, unicorns, narwhals, awesomeness. There is our Nature's Head, and there is our toddler-friendly version of the Nature's Head. Basically, it goes with it to help him use it okay. And by the way, my only downside with this is we've still had a lot of problems getting used to using it. I don't know that I can recommend it for families, especially not little boys, because little boys want to stand up and pee-pee like little boys do, but it's not really designed for that. It's a little complicated, and we've had quite a few messes and quite a few mixing of solids and liquids that we shouldn't have. So we may actually look into expanding this space and getting a slightly bigger separate. We don't know yet. We like it. We really do. It's a great toilet. It's definitely awesome for adults and for couples and singles, but I'm not positive I can recommend it for a family. That's my only complaint with it. So, but it's still, you know, like I said, we're making it work. This whole space, obviously, still a work in progress. There's actually a really cool portal mirror that's going to go here that's going to hold all of these medicines and whatnot. They'll all actually live up here. Still some paint work. We added this cool pipe and sliding door that is still very loud. But the problem is Branda's 6'4". I am 5'6". Let me close this door for you. Here's my knee space. Can you see my knees? Yeah, there's not a whole lot of room, and I'm short. So needless to say, we kind of shrunk this space a little more than we should have. So Brand's having some problems using it appropriately. We may have to readjust. Continuing with our subtle hints of steampunk stuff, not sort of, but not really. You can see our shower curtains got like a submarine kind of Nautilus type thing on there. There's a whale, there's a boat. We like all this stuff. Lots of copper, lots of multiple metals. This is our shower area. So this is the wet bath, if you hear me talk about dry and wet. I think I'm going to have to take some steel wool to this because I never did get all the fingerprints off, and I'm fairly certain they're permanently embedded on this steel. That's okay. Adds character. That's what I keep telling myself. We have a wine barrel tub down here that you can see is not being used nearly enough because these are not even. They've not been getting wet enough, so we're going to have to tinker with it. But right now it's just got our dirty clothes sitting in it. That's our dirty clothes hamper. The pipe back there will eventually be a vent that will go outside. Same kind of deal. If you notice too, I didn't point this out on the other side, but those are some cool antique replica, like Victorian age push button light switches. All of this is 12 volt in here. Both the bathrooms are 12 volt, and we did that so that we wouldn't shock the crap out of ourselves. This is all still, like I said, work in progress. Same kind of deal. We did a British telephone style faucet and shower thing. There will be a hook somewhere up here to where you could actually hook the whole thing up there and then shower that way. Right now you just do it as a handheld, but we did that so the kiddo could use this as a tub. It'd be a little bit easier for him, and that we didn't have to plumb anything up this way. It was kind of nice. So different options for different things. Nice big heavy duty hook to hold towels. This is our hall light because really we don't need a hall light. We didn't see there was any reason to install one, so we just use a little LED light. And yes, those doors are loud. Believe me, we're not fans. I'm not fans of them. We've got to rework it. But anyhow, this is our closet. I guess I can turn that back on for a little more light. Up there, there's two baskets that have socks and whatnot. These are posters for Rad's room, but Brand has these top two here. I have the bottom two there. There's actually two more behind them. We don't have clothes that require folding and ironing, or excuse me, ironing and hanging, I should say. So we just do cubes. Works out pretty well. This space does not normally look like this space, and I'm so sorry that it's so dark. I don't think I can really fix it because there's not a light in here. This is definitely undone. This is where our electrical panels are. That's our 120 electrical panel, and down there below where you can't see that shouldn't be covered and normally isn't, I will point out, is where the 12 volt converter is. That runs obviously the water pump. It runs the water heater. It runs the Nature's Head, and it runs the lighting in both sides of the bathroom. So this is really going to be a broom closet. Right now it has clean clothes hamper, so lots of clothing to do and put away. See, still, like, that's 12 volt wiring. Lots of touch-up stuff to do. So the end, and even though it's still not done, the crown jewel of my personal favorite part of the tiny house is our son's room. If I can get the thing to focus. Hopefully it will. needless to say, this is our kiddo's room. Also not totally done and definitely not clean because he's 4 and he doesn't know how to do clean very well. But I purposely didn't pick his room up because I kind of wanted you just to see this is where we live. It's real. It's not made up terribly much. It is a little cleaner than it normally is, believe it or not, but that's okay. Oh, and I can't make it be focused. Sorry about that. Anyhow, so this is his room. He's got 2 walls that are actually chalkboard paint. We have not let him do anything with chalk yet because he just might make too much of a mess. Lots of little trim stuff to do. My dad custom built this really cool little chaise thing here that's actually got these storage cubes, and I'm sitting on one of them right now. Most of his toys and books and everything fit down in there. He's got a shelf that's going to go up here that will hold his little alarm clock, his little raccoon fan, some more toys and various things like that. I got this really cool Tiffany Heiger wallpaper called Rocky Mountain Walk off of Spoonflower. And in fact, our wallpaper in the dry bath, is also from Spoonflower, but not by Tiffany. This kind of set the tone for the whole room, and it worked out really, really well because Rad's bedroom at our big house was the same color. It's a robin's egg blue. So I was able to just kind of bring it in here and reuse it. This is all jet board. His room was always going to be jet board. I had never wanted to use anything in here that was flammable. I'm terrified of propane. That's why our only propane appliance is our water heater. And since the propane tank is right on the other side of this wall, even though I know it's not going to stop anything, it makes me feel better to have something fireproof in here for the kid. So his room is still quite messy at this point. He's got his little glow-in-the-dark stars that are up there. It's very lovely at night. All of his light fixtures are meant to kind of look cloud-like. They're all multicolored LEDs. They will change if we switch them. This bed is actually really awesome too. It just looks like a bed that's kind of in a crazy high position, but let's see if I can flip it. If you flip it up, there's actually a plate table underneath here, and there's this pretty thing that my dad painted on the bottom. It's got a choo-choo train. It's meant for him to play. The bottom layer also lifts up so we can access his closet. So we've got these cubes, these storage cubes down here. Those are his closet. They've got dividers inside that let us put all of his clothes into different bins and whatnot. Obviously, he has a lot of books. We do quite a bit of reading. He is obviously a boy. He is very obsessed with cars, which is fine because we like them. They're fun. They're easy. They're small. This is the downstairs, basically. All right, the last thing I'm going to show you is our loft, and I will definitely give you the caveat that it's messy. We don't bother to make our bed because we're just going to be back in it in a few hours, and normally there's not that much stuff sitting in this area. Usually just these 2 bins here, which have our pajamas. Obviously, there's the dehumidifier. My crocheting stuff got tossed up here. We've got some extra blankets that we're not using right now because it's been way too hot for them. But anyway, our stairs make it much easier to climb up in here. And you can see from the landing where I'm sitting, our ceiling, which is like one of my favorite things in this whole house. It's some reclaimed tin that I got from Tiny Texas Houses. I sanded off the old paint, some of it obviously, put milk paint on it, put polyurethane to seal it, and when it's all done up here, it's going to end up looking like a coffered ceiling. It's going to be gorgeous. Lots more to do though. The wall boards have always intended to be temporary. That is MDF beadboard. We use it in a few other areas where moisture is not as such an issue, but down up here, unfortunately, all the hot air collects and the cold air outside makes it condense inside, and you see that little stain up there. We're gonna have to take it all down. We're gonna treat the wood behind it with some mold killer and some mold sealant, and then we'll put some new flooring up here, and the flooring will actually be wallboard for us instead. So lots to do. We have had moisture issues, as I've mentioned. The windows got the bulk of it. Those ones unfortunately never got sealed prior to us coming up here, so that's why they got the worst damage. Although this one here probably took the brunt of it. We think part of that reason is because it goes all the way down to the floor of the loft, whereas these ones, if you notice, are the same level as the mattress. So we think better air circulation on these guys let them to not be quite so damaged, but it's okay. It's all lessons learned. We'll take care of it. We'll get it all sealed up, stained up, and it'll be gorgeous. So you can see the raw spray foam insulation on our sides. Same thing, closed cell. It's wonderful stuff. Has definitely kept us warm in the winter, but because you cannot ventilate your roof up here, the moisture has nowhere to go. And when it's 2 degrees outside, you don't want to leave your windows open all night. So anyhow, once it's all done, it's going to be gorgeous. We've really enjoyed being here in the winter time. We're very glad we got to do it, and we really, really look forward to finishing the whole house and being able to show you the results. So stay tuned. Look for TinyHouse43 version 2.0 soon.